Actually, do you know what? When I go live, if I turn the volume down on my live feed, right? Let's just see what I do. I'll just do my usual stuff, redirecting. Okay, because I've never done this bit before. Let me just. Actually, do you know what? When I go live, if I turn right, okay. Right, so we are live. I have now got my YouTube screen up. I'm thinking that if anyone... Right, good morning. I need to share it first. Let me share, right? Just chat amongst yourselves. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And I can hear
yes,
you.
we can hear you.
Right, I just need to not look at my face because I'm on a delay on YouTube. It's not the best face to look at on delay, is it? Right, hold on. Right.
I'll putting herself down.
Oh,
what are you like? Stop talking nice to yourself.
I love you. No, I'm quiet. I'm all good. I'm all good. Right, so let me first click on this. Work this stuff out. Hold on. Face to look at on delay, is it? Right, hold on. Listen to me. Let's share. Share. Copy link. Right. Okay. Oh, it's the stuff that dreams are made out of. Right.
I'm getting the beeping from.
Yeah, you will do for this.
Yeah.
Hold on, that real therapy live.
So, Linda, how's your website coming on?
It's almost finished. I've just asked her to change a couple more colours, and Susie's with us. Look, and
hello, ladies.
Yeah, just talk about yourself. I'm just sharing.
Do you hear me well?
Yeah, we're good. Linda's just telling us about her new website.
Yes, my new phobia website. Yes, fastphobiatherapies.com.
Great. Oh,
yeah,
love that title. Yeah.
I know, isn't it great? And apparently, according to Lewis, phobia therapy is the highest searched term. So,
right. Perfect. So you're good for Google.
So yeah, should be good. Should be good for that. Yeah.
Wow.
And so that so there are just a couple of things, and then I need to. I want to add a couple more testimonials as well. So they've got to be prepared and put on there, and a case study. There's another case study as well.
Cool.
But I can do that this weekend, and then on Monday we will be hot to trot.
Yay!
Exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
And Susie as well. Have you got a pen and paper? Because my bit, I'm going to do a little bit of drawing, so you just need a pen and paper.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. That's fun.
She's on it.
She's on it like a carb on it.
I'm prepared, baby. Don't worry.
You are always forever prepared. Oh, my babes. Oh, they're all gorgeous. Right, hold on. Okay. Turn on, share. And I'm going to do it on my LinkedIn as well. You getting the nice buzzing sound? Waking you up? No.
No buzzing.
Oh, good. Oh, by the way, look.
Notice that. What is it? I don't see it too well.
They're daisies.
Oh, how lovely.
That's so cute.
Oh, I see. Of course, you've got them on your blouse as well.
Daisies everywhere.
You are daisies. It's a good year for daisies, actually.
Is it?
Everywhere. Our garden is like a carpet of daisies. I've never seen so many. It must have been the perfect weather for them. It's just absolutely beautiful. Their little smiling faces.
So I've seen a recipe for dandelion and daisy biscuits.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I use dandelion leaves. What part do you eat of the daisy?
The petals. Use the petals. You pull them off of the thing in the middle, and apparently they give it a lemony flavour.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, okay. So it's just the white part.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the dandelion, again, it's just the petals, and I'm a bit wary of that because he says it gives it a bit of an earthy taste. Well, I'm not keen on that.
Yeah, I eat dandelion leaves. I use them in my salad, but I've not really thought about the flowers.
Yeah. Flowers.
Cool.
I'm feeling daisies. So I just have like gone out my way and bought daisy stuff.
Daisies.
I think they're so pretty, right? Though, aren't they?
They
Yeah, I
are
love it. I love that
gorgeous. Yeah.
They are, but daffodils and like the purple little purple ones, snowdrops. No, that's where they're white. The
No,
Red
crocuses.
bells, bluebells.
bluebells.
Oh, bluebells.
I love them. Right, so we are live. We're live everywhere. So today, good morning, everybody. Good morning, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere else that's spreading through to Insta, the lot. So today it's going to be, for me, it's going to be a learning day because, as you all know, last week we did Does This Stuff Work? Part 1, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved. I mean, I was talking about my NLP and hypnotherapy. We are all master NLP practitioners and hypnotherapists on this, so we all do the same kind of thing. But not only do we do that, well, I can't add myself in this way, but the amazing therapists that I'm surrounded with today do countless other things. And I wanted to talk about that, or the different therapies that exist. And last week we talked about Ayurveda with Susanna, which I was fascinated by. I learned so much last week. And I'm just
because I talked so much.
It was amazing, right? And that's the beauty of it.
No, but I need to apologize. I took all the time. I'm sorry. I just,
No.
you asked me to talk about Ayurveda. I can't stop,
No, I love that. That's it. It's your passion. And like, I learned so much. And so this week, we're going to be talking about, because everything deserves its space, right? So today we're going to be talking about EFT, and we're going to be talking about emotrance, neurographica, and access consciousness. So all of these things I know absolutely nothing about. I'm going to learn. I'm learning alongside everybody else, and it's going to be fun, informative. And Kate, who's doing neurographica. Kate, hello. So she said, if everyone can maybe we'll give you some time, a paper and a pen, like a felt pen, ready, because hers involves drawing. So there's a little hint there. So we're going to go into that. And also, just to let you know, I'm trying something different today. If you're watching us, if you could comment in the chat on YouTube, I've got it running. I think I've got it running. I've never done this before, like with the live chat, because my attention's normally everywhere else. But today I'm going to be listening a lot. So if you've got any questions or comments, please just type them in the chat on YouTube. On YouTube, though, not on Facebook. I don't think I've got the chat open on Facebook, and I can't really figure it out, to be honest with you. But if you could go to YouTube for me and just type something in the chat so I know that you are there and watching, that would be lovely to say hello to you and good morning. And also, the other thing I wanted to say was our Real Therapy podcast, which is extremely exciting, is coming out this Friday coming, so May the 28th. Is that right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because my birthday is on the 30th. Help.
Wow.
You can tell it's Friday, can't you? So, so that's coming out, and we're all in this together. It's going to be incredible. And I'm excited about it, very excited about our podcast going out there and just reaching the people that maybe haven't heard of us yet, and just giving some guidance to those that might need it at this time. So we all need a bit of guidance. I definitely do. So today we are going to start with Linda, and Linda's going to talk about, well, should we start with emotrance? Because I've never heard of emotrance. What is it?
Yes, so emotrance. So it's one of the energy therapies. So you will know the others. So Reiki is an energy therapy. EFT, which we'll talk about later, so that's an energy therapy. So they work on the energy. I'd like to say a bit about energy first, because it can sound all a bit woo-woo. And some people will be thinking, I don't believe in that energy thing, and I don't believe in Reiki anyway, and I don't believe in all of this. So I want to make it clear what your energy field is. It is accepted and traceable with in the medical profession. Now we can see it. We can see it on scans. On scan, you know, those that show up colours. Those kind of scans. I don't know what they exactly are. And so it is true, it exists, and it is your life force. That's what it is. You know it's true because it's your life force. And it's only the names that might put you off from believing it. Talking about energy therapy, I'm talking about the aura. So it is inside your body and it is outside your body. Outside your body, it may be referred to as your aura, but it's still your life force. That is still what it is. And you know you've got that, otherwise you're dead. And you know that the difference between looking at a dead body and looking at someone in a coma, you know that difference. And if you see a dead cat at the side of the road, you would know, that it's dead, it's stone dead, and you're not going to be screeching to a halt thinking, oh, let's see if I can help it. So that's your energy field, and it flows. It doesn't go around anything like in blood vessels, but it has a path around the body, and it also comes outside your body. You know your personal space. That's your energy field outside your body. Some people are very sensitive to people being in their personal space. I'm not particularly, but you're still aware of your personal space. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling your energy. And the other thing is to say is when you talk about, I'm sure everyone has felt butterflies. That's your energy flow that you're feeling. You know there are no butterflies in your tummy, but you go, I've got butterflies in my tummy. When you're going through a job interview or something like that, you're feeling your energy flow being blocked or slowing down or responding, your energy flow responding. So Emotrance, now it was started by Sylvia Hartman, and this must be around about the millennium, around about the year 2000. And we had no Facebook then. We had no anything else then, no social media. We had forums. And I came across Emotrance. I'd learned EFT, and then I came across Emotrance in some of the forums that people were gathered in at that time. And so Sylvia Hartman was in some of the forums that I was a member on, and I was very privileged to learn and be mentored by the top practitioners of these therapies at that time, including EFT as well. So I believe now she calls it something else. And it will have evolved. She will have evolved it because it's common to do that. But I just still use basic Emotrance.
What is it?
I'll tell you in a moment. So basic doesn't mean it's not good enough. It might even be a fuller system. Emotrance is looking for where your feelings are, as we do in NLP, looking for where in your body do you feel that. But then it treats it differently. It moves on to treat it differently than we do in NLP. So then we say, okay, so that feeling, that problem that you're feeling in your energy wants to leave you. It wants to come out of your body. Where will it leave your body? And I've never had anyone say, I don't know. We know these things. We're miraculously in tune with our bodies. So then you say, well, it seems to be my foot and it's up here. So then we use whatever tools come to mind to get it to flow out of the body. And we might we might use, and then we go on very similarly to NLP, except that with this, we are taking it out of the body, and once it's left the body, we are saying it's done, it's okay, it's gone now. And it's very useful, because the other thing to know about energy is we have, as I see it, we have three main levels of response to life.
Yeah.
There's the mind, there's the body. So we may, if we're stressed, we may even show that in the body. That's why I'm saying it's a response to life. And then I believe the energy level sits in between, because anything that you're experiencing in your mind or in your body, it will be in your energy field as well. And when you clear it from the energy field, that is all you need to do. It is gone from the mind, or it's gone from the body.
So it doesn't work with the past of younger you or anything like that. It literally works with the present and what you're feeling right now.
It can be what you're feeling about the past.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is equally versatile.
Right, I understand.
Yeah, it's as versatile as NLP. And I suppose you could use it if you were wanting to go back to a particular time, if there's something you knew of in your past, or you wanted to explore what you consider to be other lives. You can even do that. There's no reason for you not to do that with your mind. And then you say, so where are you feeling? So I'm feeling whatever, right? Then you move into the energy. Where are you feeling that?
Very interesting. So it works more with feelings rather than pictures, maybe? So NLP is quite visual as well. It can be quite visual.
There's a picture, because you would be picturing what it's like. Yes. Okay. And picturing, so there is picturing comes into it. So it might be like a great lump of a thing. And so then you would ask, so what does it need to enable it to flow out of your body? So you might think, well, it needs some oil. And then you've got that oil. And so you are using that aspect of healing. Yes. So then you get a big bucket. We're not messing about with little jugs, you get a big bucket of oil, and you get imagination. You can use whatever you like. So you get a big fireman's hose that instead of water, it's pouring oil out. Yeah, and you keep it going until it's left. You do not stop. You don't just do that and wait for it to happen. You do it. And there's a little bit more to it as well. Sylvia devised ways of you being able to clear up things that were not even necessarily present in your life. You don't have to wait for a problem and just use it on a problem. So you could use it to create improvements in your life experience. She had the idea of us having different rooms where different things were kept. So you imagine a big mansion, and there were different rooms, and you might choose to go into a certain room and see what's there and then clear it up.
Oh, I like that. That's really, thanks, Linda. That's brought some light onto emotrance. Yeah. So yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you.
And I guess if you look, if anyone's interested in getting up to date with it, you just look for Sylvia Hartman. Sylvia with eyes, 2 eyes, not a Y. Sylvia Hartman, 2 N's. And if you could put emotrance in there as well. I think that's what I did to discover that she's you know, evolved and made and created even more, I guess.
Oh, I love it. That's the one thing that we can all be sure of, is that we're evolving every single day. So, thanks, darling. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we're going to go on to Kate next, if that's all right. And we'll do a bit of the old Neurographica. I have never done this before, so I'm quite excited.
Yeah, well, it's like, I'll just tell you a bit about it. I'm just putting up my things up there, so I've got it there. So yeah, so Neurographica is it's kind of like changing how you think and feel, but doing it by drawing it on paper. That's the way. So it's kind of, we're all working with thoughts and feelings, aren't we? And we're just doing it all different ways. So this is like, I'm always interested in really quick, simple things that work for everyone and that last, and that's what we're all into doing. And so I'm really interested in just the simplest way, the quickest way to get something done, and ideally something you can do for yourself that you don't even need to work sort of with a therapist or anything. I love self-help stuff. And so when I came across Neurographica, my mind was kind of blown, because it was a really simple way to really just calm your mind, change how you feel, and really get deep into your subconscious. And that's the thing, because you're not going through your brain, you're not having to use your thinking to do something. And so it kind of like bypasses all the thoughts and all the beliefs and everything else. And you can just get straight into your subconscious and kind of like release emotions, come up with new ideas, make decisions, change things that are happening inside your body, you know, and then work with your whole life, like, you know, change your relationships and how you work, and maybe your relationship with money, or your habits, you know, whatever it might be you want to change, then you can kind of just draw it on paper and make it happen. And the beauty of doing that is that when you come up with something, let me show you a few examples. So these are some that I've done, because I've just finished the specialist course of this, because I'm so into it. So I've just done the specialist course. So this was one I did. So that's drawing. Beautiful. That's growing happiness. Okay. And then there's another one that I did. This is making a choice. I had to choose between these 4 options, and then I sort of got this choice up here. So it's making something clear in your head, and you can do it. You can do baby ones. So that was just solving a bit of stress I had in my mind, and I just did that quickly in 10 minutes. That was just a quick one. Or you can do really, really massive ones like this. So that's me and my business, and how I'm changing my business at the moment. So that was that. So you can do it really simple, and you can do it. There's another one. This was just making a decision. 2 options, took me like 5 minutes, and made a decision.
Oh wow.
And it's kind of like, it's not predicting the future or anything like that. You're just going into yourself and knowing what's really happening inside of you, and you can change it, because the beauty is, having done it, you've got a visual reminder. I mean, I've got that now. I know my decision, because I've got it there, and I can keep looking at it and adjusting it and changing it. And if I don't like it, you play with it, and you can mold your life and your thoughts and your feelings in that way. And there's that one I've got behind me there. That's one of my very first ones I did about a year ago, when we first went into lockdown, and I was feeling quite lonely, and so I sorted out my loneliness just with doing a drawing. So that's why I keep that there, because I love that one, because it means a lot to me, that one. So that's kind of what we do. And it was developed in only like 7 years ago. Just had our 7th birthday 7 years ago, 2014, by a Russian guy called Pavel Piskarev, I think his name is. So and he's still developing it now in Russia. He's working with universities and seeing how far we can take this stuff, because it's just so amazing. And there are kind of like other different techniques that people use as well, but this Neurographica is his trademarked way of doing it. And there are certain steps that you do, that when you do all the steps, it kind of like changes stuff that's going on inside of you. Wow. So it's very relaxing as well, because, you know, when you're doodling and stuff, it's a nice thing to do, because it's a very non-threatening, it's very safe for your nervous system. So your nervous system can relax, and so you can kind of get deep into things without even necessarily knowing what's happening. Because sometimes I'm drawing stuff, I don't even know what it is, And then sometimes later, like the next day, I'll look at it and think, oh, that's what it meant. That's what it is, you know. So you're kind of unraveling things as well and making sense of stuff. And we use colours. So colours are very telling. The colour you choose for different parts and where you put things on the page, they all they're all like mimicking what's happening in your head and where you're putting things in your mind. And the colours are your thoughts. Colours are feelings and lines are like your thoughts. And the shapes that you use are very, very telling as well. So when I'm working one-on-one with people, or I do neurographic workshops as well for groups of people, and we work on something that you want to work, you pick something you want to work on, and then we do a drawing together and I show you how to do it. And we're doing all that online at the moment. So you just basically play around and redraw your life or redraw your thoughts or whatever else. So what I thought we'd do is just a really quick exercise if you'd like to do that. So
lovely.
You've got to experience it, because I can talk about it all day, but you've actually got to feel it for yourself. So just get a piece of paper and have a pen, like a felt pen's better, but a biro is fine as well, or even a pencil if you want, but it needs to be something that shows up on the paper. And we're just going to play a little bit. So just draw circles on the page. Just draw circles.
Have we chosen what we want to?
No, this is just purely feeling how it is to how it changes your feelings, just drawing different things on paper. So this is just a really, really simple exercise, because we don't have time to do anything bigger, but just draw circles.
Love it. How many? Just
notice. You do whatever you want, because this is you and your mind and your life and everything else. So big and small, doesn't matter, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to put them, wherever you feel like, let your pen go over the paper and think, where do I want to put one, and just put them. And just notice how you're drawing them as well. Are you going clockwise or anti-clockwise? Do you do it always the same? And notice how it feels when you go the other way. How does that feel? Because you're sort of tuning into what you're thinking as you're doing it. Because I notice as I'm doing this, there's like, I've got a feeling in my stomach happening.
Oh yeah, I prefer anti-clockwise, I think.
Yeah, so notice it can be quite uncomfortable going the other way. And part of this is like, if you want to change habits, then you can actually play with how you draw them and make them go the other way, and build more flexibility into your behavior just by challenging yourself to do something that feels really uncomfortable to do. But right now we're just drawing circles and things. So I've got one there, and I've got quite a big one there.
Oh,
just notice what it's like.
Yeah,
you don't have to be perfect or anything. So what have you got? That's what I've done. All right, cool. Yeah, lovely.
So I've got that. I'm sorry, I had to have an elongated one.
That's fine.
It needed to be there.
Good, lovely, brilliant.
yeah.
Great. So how did that feel doing that?
Relaxing.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Circles are lovely. Circles are very, very calming generally. They're very harmonizing. They kind of like represent positive thoughts.
Cool.
And resources that you have can be circles, and they can grow obviously as well, and you can make them bigger. So if you've got lots of little circles anywhere, try drawing a big circle around them and see how that feels.
Nice.
Because that's quite nice, isn't it? Because you're kind of like encompassing and harmonizing all those little thoughts into one big positive thought now.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's really nice. So anytime you want to doodle and you want to calm your mind, just draw a few circles. It can be really nice just to do that. And now take another sheet of paper now. So now I'm going to do something that's a little bit more challenging now, and draw some triangles. And just notice what happens when you draw triangles. And how do they feel compared to those circles?
Yeah, they're harder to draw, aren't they?
What's happening in your body when you draw a triangle?
I'm not liking it.
I'm feeling it in my legs. I'm feeling like a tension in my legs.
Yeah.
Oh yes, my feet are stuck up off the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Triangles can be they can be very energizing, their energy, but they can also, anything with a point to it can actually be quite uncomfortable as well.
I'm kind of like doing like this makes me feel quite good, this kind of thing. So like in one flow. Do you remember when we were kids and we had to draw the house without taking your hand off?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I quite liked that, and I find it's better to do like that kind of thing. And I'm making triangles out of just one straight line. That's quite a nice thing.
Yeah. So you're because all lines are thoughts. So as soon as because when you get, obviously a thought goes to a point, it can be a bit uncomfortable, but if you're then joining them up to other ones, then suddenly you're joining up your thoughts a bit more. Whereas obviously circle, the thought never ends. It doesn't come to a point, a harsh change of direction.
Yeah, I like that.
So, and just notice what happens then. So these, I've got to do some triangles like that. That's what mine would like. So just notice what happens now if you draw a circle around a triangle. What does that do to it?
Reminds me of geometry.
Yeah, it's nice.
Interesting.
I enjoy doing the triangles for some reason. Not that I enjoyed it more than the circles, but I found that it's like a construction, like building something. To me, it was really
they are.
I enjoyed it.
Absolutely, they're solid and they're growing. You know, there's a growth to them. But if you're like in a really stressed place in your mind, then triangles can be actually very challenging and quite uncomfortable.
It's the drawing that I'm doing when when you do something, when you talk to someone and you keep drawing at the same time, I draw triangles usually. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, again, it depends if you're looking at
serious or
no. So like everyone's different, but if you want to calm yourself, circles are great. If you want to energize yourself, build power and grow, then triangles are
pyramid,
good. So it's like, and they can be very lots of resources in triangles, but very solid, and obviously like a pyramid, they're solid, you can build upon them. So again, it depends on what's happening, what it means to you. There's no meaning to this. I'm generalizing very much here, and when I'm working with people working with a particular thing, then we will use all sorts of shapes. And the shape that you choose and feel most comfortable with tells a lot about what it is that you want or what you need, maybe.
I draw hearts.
Yeah.
I draw hearts when I doodle, always.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I draw plant pots with plants in them.
Oh, yeah. Or daisies.
Or flowers. Yeah.
Daisies,
Daisies.
I used to draw stars. But I found like little spiky stars like this.
Oh wow!
I used to just do that, but that was like my mind was like that. I love stars and the light of stars and everything else, and I used to just draw lots of those because that's like you say, drawing the house all in with one line. So I used to do that, and that was a way of releasing stress. But all I was doing was putting stress on the paper, and all I could see was these spiky stars, and actually it didn't really help. And as soon as I started doodling circles, I could calm down far more quickly. So that was for me. So it depends on what you want. If I want more energy, I'll draw lots of spiky stars because they energize me, because they bring in more of that sort of feeling to me.
Interesting.
So that's just a really, really quick explanation of what Neurographic is about. You can use it for absolutely anything. And I just love the way that you don't have to even know what you're doing. You're putting your subconscious on paper and working things out. And you can just calm, chaotic thinking or whatever. So a lot of my clients, I've actually shown them this technique just to how to calm themselves in the moment, and then you start putting color in and stuff like that, and it all just harmonizes and everything flows. A bit like Linda was saying before with Emotrance, we're talking about flow. We're trying to bring flow into stuck places and getting things moving, releasing it, untying the knots, unraveling a little bit, so that you can move forward again instead of getting this stuck place. And anything that works like that, it's brilliant.
And it makes sense as well, because a lot of times when there is anxiety and stress, it is all in your head. It's getting more and more condensed. And as soon as you can take it out visually, if you can visually look at it on paper, or even if you're writing down what it is and making a list, this is just a calmer, more relaxing way of just getting it out, and just so you can see it in front of you and then decide what's more important. That really works. I like
really
that.
Cool. It's very cool.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was brilliant. Right, so I'm going to come to you some Neurographica.
Absolutely, come and join a workshop.
We can do a group therapy together.
Well, it is. That's what it is, really. But without any of the challenging, having to say anything out loud to anyone. You're doing it all for yourself on paper. So I can do big groups together, and it doesn't matter,
I can see how the colours would really affect it as well. You can make it all and make it coloured in, and lovely. Just fulfilled. Right, okay, so I'm going to go now. Thanks, that was brilliant.
Welcome.
I want to go to Susie, because you do access consciousness. Now, I've never even heard of this before. So all of this stuff I've never heard before. So does this stuff work? Yes, it does, in my opinion. But you obviously all have to taste it. Oh, that might be a good, nice therapy. Taste therapy. I wonder if it exists. Taste therapy. Anyway, just going on a different tangent. Susie, access consciousness, what is it and how does it work?
Well, I'm not, if you want, I only had one training done. There's much more that I haven't explored, but like I was mentioning last time, I got hooked on it because I have this detector of useful techniques, and I can feel them right away, and then I'm attracted by it, and then I go and explore it. And even though I was very, very interested in the first part, which is the access consciousness bars, and I'll explain to you what they are, I didn't go further with it because it was not, I didn't feel the need to go further, but I guess it's much more to explore for those of you who are listening. You might want to explore more than I will just tell you about it, because I don't know everything about it, obviously. But by listening, I think I was part of this, online symposiums where different therapists with different methods come and present on a certain subject, and listening to this lady describing it and doing those, what they call clearings, attracted my mind and my eye. And it is, if you want, for me, I'm not using it all the time, but it is the magic wand that I take out of my magic bag when nothing else works. So it is something that has an influence. It's hard to put it into words what it is, because you work with the mind, you work with the energy. It's been created by two very smart guys, Americans, Gary Douglas and what's the name, Dr. Dane Heer. And the way they came to it, it's extraordinary as well. It's a magical story. Basically, I don't have time because then I will take all the time again. But it's a technique that one of them discovered, and so they put it into practice, and it just so proves that it works. So the access consciousness bars is basically placing your hands, the fingertips, on certain points, very specific points. There is a series of a number of points that you have in a certain sequence that you keep for 5 minutes, and that you are using in order to, if you want, release the energy that is stuck in the body, to make the energy run through the body, to make the brain work in a different way, and to create basically new connections. Because this cyclicity that we were talking about last time is also translated into real connections that happen in the brain, right? Between the nerves, the neurons. So there's like cycles, neural pathways that we are being trapped into. So this, according to what is being said, does that. And I can only, what I can say is that it's absolutely amazing how it simply wipes away a very negative state, or a state that you don't even have to know what it is about in order to do it.
How do you do it? Can you run? Is it a quick technique to run through? Maybe we could do
No, because you have to lay down.
Right.
You have to lay down, and you as a practitioner, you place your hands on the head. Most of them are on the head. And then you keep the fingers for 5 minutes. It takes about an hour and a half. You run those bars. That's the expression that we use, and then makes everything run and it becomes fluid. The thing is, they have a second aspect, which is more vast than this, which is working with questions and with notions and what they call the clearings. And this is what I also use in my conversations. When I use, for instance, NLP and we discuss and we have a consultation, and I feel that there is a belief and there is some place where the person is totally unaware and they have hard time accessing the information, I could use this instead of putting them into a trance. So for me, it's as if you want, it's the fastest way to access the unconscious without having to go through a hypnotic state, without having to go to use the hypnotic speech and so on and so forth. And I'll give you an example to very, very precise. And again, this takes a lot of time to explain the cleaning or the clearing phrase, because there is a sentence, actually, that's the magic wand. There is a clearing statement that we are using in order to clear that particular aspect. So does anybody have a particular subject that they'd like to address, whatever that is, an example that we can work on? But it has to be real and it has to be with one of you.
Can it be to do with, like, because it's not to do with pain or anything, because I slept funny.
With anything, for instance.
I've got a really bad, my neck from 3 nights ago, I slept funny, and I've had the most it's just horrible, this pain all in my neck and my shoulder.
All right. So that's a perfect example. It could be a pain, it could be an emotional thing, it could be a blockage, it could be a pattern you want to work with, anything. And it works, as I said, mostly with things where nothing else worked. So there is a series of questions that we are asking that allow this clearing to happen. And the clearing statement is like this: right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. This is what it did to me when I heard it first time. So let's say you're telling me that you have a pain in the neck right now, right?
I have a pain in the neck.
Pain in the neck. Okay, so let's ask like this. The first one of the questions that I would ask you if we had a conversation about that would be, truth, what is there behind this pain? And then I will ask, you don't have to answer me. That's the cool part. You have nothing to do. We just let the magic wand do. Okay, so truth, what is there behind this neck pain? And then I would say, everything that this brings up and everything that this is there behind this neck pain that you're not aware of, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all? And now you would have to tell me yes or no. I always have to have your approval. Would you be willing? Yeah, okay. And then I say, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyond. So again, truth, what is there behind the neck pain? Everything that this brings up right now as we ask this question that is there behind this neck pain. And the point of departure, the point where this pain really started, everything that does not allow you to be aware of that right now and release it into the consciousness, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Truth, what is there behind this neck pain?
Interesting.
Everything that this brings up, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all?
I love this. Yeah.
Okay, wait, one more thing. Truth, what is great? What is amazing? What is wonderful about this neck pain that you're not willing to recognize? And everything that this brings up, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all? Yes or no?
No.
No?
Well,
everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive everything that this neck pain is now bringing, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds.
Oh,
so what's wonderful about this that you're not getting? What's amazing about this neck pain that you're not getting? Everything that does not allow you to be into this awareness of what's wonderful and the gift that this neck pain is to you right now, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
All right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I can go on and on like this. So for instance, I'm having a conversation with my client. We've been trying this, we've been doing that. And then they come up with something silly. And then I would stop them right there and I say, truth, what's behind that? And they're like,
That's interesting.
And then I say everything that does not allow you to become aware of the truthfulness of what's behind this, and to go to the cause and to go to the root of the problem right now and simply remove it from your system, we destroy and uncreate it all. And it's funny because I'm just curious how it feels to you in your body as we do this.
Feels good, actually. Yeah, I did take some paracetamol before the thing, but it's definitely, well, it's still there, but
no, of course, this is just an example of how we work with it. Of course, we would like,
yeah, no, but it definitely, that's really interesting.
But I'm interested to know how it perceives, just to listen to this question, because everybody's mesmerized by it and it works with everybody. I didn't find anybody yet who is like, no, don't use that with me. And I'm shocked every time because it's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an interrupter. It's like you're in like a negative kind of flow, and then all of a sudden you're just stopping that flow and you're going, what is it? Yeah. And it's like your body's just going, what? And then you're thinking, and are we allowed to get rid of anything that's stopping you? And then the series of words that you say.
The series of words, basically each of them means something. So it stands for something. They have a meaning. For instance, you in this phrase of cleansing, of the clearing phrase, puts together all the possible interpretations that you might have about a certain subject. For instance, right, wrong means everything that you have judged right about this neck pain and everything that you judged wrong about this neck pain, we destroy.
I love that. And it's
good, bad, everything that you think is good about this neck pain, everything you think is bad. So basically we take all possible interpretations, everything that you could conceive about the particular subject, and we destroy all that. So basically you free the whole thing.
So it's nothing left. It's like a chant, isn't it? It's like that last part's like a chant, and it's hypnotic. It's quite a hypnotic thing.
It's quite hypnotic, yes.
Yeah, I like that. It's like the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, isn't it? Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho. I love that.
Right, wrong with that.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
What I do the access bars. Basically, the person lays down. We lay down. We have a purpose. We have a subject. Sometimes when we do, I do this 5-minute thing for each point. And while I do that, I also ask the question. So that makes a lot. You can clear. I think it's months and years of all kind of other methods, in my opinion, that you can free through this thing.
Interesting. Right. Oh my God, that's fascinating. Okay, so now we're going to go. I'd like to ask Linda, because I want to finalize it with EFT. Hold on half a second, because I know I'm live on YouTube, but there's someone at my talk because this is live. Hold on, I'm going to mute myself 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about the EFT and the energy, because it's important. Yeah,
we can. Yeah, so it's another energy technique.
Yeah.
It was created by Gary Craig, and it was created to be a self-help method. That was all he created it for. And he'd no idea of how practitioners would fall upon it as an absolutely wonderful tool to have in their treasure chest. And that's all I used to do. I became an EFT practitioner, and that is the only thing I used to use about 20 years ago. And I did that for 2 or 3 years. Now I've brought it back into my NLP treasure chest, because when I sense all of us can have a resistance to healing, and we will be unaware of it. Of course, we'll be unaware of it. If we knew about it, we wouldn't be resisting. So EFT, because it does not require the mind's complicity, it doesn't give a jot about what the mind thinks. And we're not going into the unconscious mind. So it would be the unconscious mind that is hanging on to it. No, I set up this as a protection. You must not let it go. It doesn't matter at all. EFT will bulldoze through anything, absolutely anything. And I've been using it during the summer, and from Christmas time onwards. I've been working with my grandson, who's found that he's developed an eating disorder. It's a particular type, and it's called ARFID. It stands for something, and it basically lots of kids and teens are affected by this. It's nothing to do with body image, nothing to do with that at all. And they end up with certain safe foods and a lot of foods that are not safe. And some kids have only got 2 safe foods. And so you can imagine that their parents are demented. They don't know how to cope with this. So I've been working with him, and of course we've made lots of progress. And I knew he had resistances. I knew it. And there were some things that until recently he would not let me use EFT on, because he knows. No, he said, because it was, you know, something he wanted to hang on to. He's he looks for control in a lot of things. He needs control, and so it would mean letting go of that control. And now we've got far enough now that he will allow me to do it. But and when I asked him in the last time we used it, I said, "What? So how does that feel now then?" And I could, his answer was a bit muffled, because the way he does therapy with me is he ends up getting on the chair, face down, knees on the chair, in looking like a boulder.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, and slowly, this is an office chair, and slowly moving around in that office chair. So I just work with him anyway. He's listening, so we just work that way. So I couldn't hear what he said. And then his head popped up above the back of the chair with a big grin, and he said, "Well, it worked, because it always does."
Oh, how
so cool.
Linda, how old is he? How old is he?
He's 16.
16. Okay, so he's older. Interesting.
Yes.
Wow. How do you do it? Can we run through maybe techniques? I've heard so much about EFT, and it's tapping, isn't it?
It's called tapping, and we tap on certain points. Now, again, I'm a traditionalist. I stick to what I learned, and nowadays, is it called fast EFT? And there's something called gold EFT as well. And so I think they've removed some of the tapping points. I don't want to remove any. I just stick to what we've done. And so there are points on the face.
Can we run through them?
Yeah, we can. So there are 3 around the eye. They are all on the bone, on that eye socket. So there's here the inner one, outside and underneath. There's above and below the mouth. There's where the collarbones meet, you know, in that dip.
Yeah.
There. There's round the side. So for ladies, it's where your bra goes round. So and you would tap with all your fingers on there. And then there are points on every finger. So it is basically the bottom right, on the nail bed, not on the nail, on the nail bed. So you would tap on all of those. If you make a fist with your hand, there's a dip between the ring finger and little finger. That's the heart meridian. This one, you don't need to know this, doesn't matter, you do them all, but this one would be the fear point. And sometimes you might find that.
How many times do you tap? How many times do you tap, or just till it feels right?
It would. We haven't got time. You don't tap a number of times.
Right, I see. Okay, it's just feeling.
You tap while. No, you tap while you're doing. While you're repeating a reminder phrase. Because the thing with energy therapies is you need. It sometimes throws people, and they go, "Oh, I'm not going to say that. That's a negative thing." We need the problem to be active in your energy flow. So we are starting by stating the problem, and we keep going by stating a reminder of the problem.
I need to learn this, because I tell you what, I can see how that would be really good for kids.
Oh, it's brilliant. And I've started using it heavily recently. In my first session, after my consultation, I can find the resistances, I can find the limiting beliefs, and I can easily see the secondary gains. So my first session now has become EFT to remove those limiting beliefs and secondary gains. Then the NLP, the timeline that we go into after that, goes like butter off a hot knife.
Oh, wow.
I've seen it with working with my daughter, that we've mixed it a little bit sometimes. And one time, actually, the EFT wasn't seeming to be bringing the problem down at all. But we went on to NLP, which was done in a flash. So it had still loosened things.
That's so interesting.
I'm planning to do a Zoom workshop.
Yeah.
Because one of my clients wants to learn it, to use it in her massage and Reiki business.
Wow.
So so if I set that up, and
I'll share it.
You can join that. Yeah.
I'd love to join it, because I really want to learn. Susie, you do EFT as well, don't you?
I do as well. Yeah. Well, it's basically that's the principle. You tune into an experience. You can tune into a traumatic experience from the past. You can tune into a feeling, or you can work with a belief. This is what's cool. And then basically, let's say you discover, and I just worked with my client who's here over for 7 days. And she told me, I don't feel worthy to receive anything from a man, right? So basically, let's say you get into this idea right away, right before going, as Linda says, before going into the NLP and trying to find out where it starts from, we can already work with it. And then you just do like this, I'm not worth it. People are afraid of saying these very bad thoughts that they keep telling themselves in their mind anyway. So better to say it out loud and releasing it for it. So you will just say, I'm not worthy to be loved by a man. I'm not worthy to be loved by a man. I'm not worthy to be loved by a man. And what is cool is that you evaluate, it's best to do that, to evaluate the truthfulness of that belief to you before you do it. Let's say how truthful it sounds to you now out of 10. I'm a 9 out of 10. Yeah. And then you do the tapping. And then you say that again out loud. Okay, I'm not worthy to be loved by a man. And then you say, well, I'm not. I'm at a 5, 6. Okay, so you're not still 2 at 1, 2. You keep doing it until you'd say that phrase, well, that's total nonsense. I don't believe that anymore. It's amazing how it works. It's just the 3 rounds and then it's gone.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
It is absolutely amazing. And and sometimes what happens is the phrase, the starter phrase has changed. It's not quite right. Oh, no, well, I'm not worthy to be loved by a particular kind of man, a successful man. So then that means your initial statement is a 0.
Yeah, interesting.
Because that no longer applies. But we've got a new statement to work
and you keep working with them, as we go. But one thing I want to give, I want to honor Roger Callahan, because he's actually the one who started this. So basically, that's the initial movement, thought field therapy. It's a psychologist, an American psychologist who I loved. I studied with him first time. Who started this work in his search to find answer to very serious psychological and psychiatrical problems. So we have to be very clear about this. Has been studied and experimented with for many, many years, although he was very controversial. And of course, the scientific community was not in approval with his work, but he did miracles. He did really. So basically, he discovered this just to put some seed in people's mind to try to use it, because it's really phenomenal. He had been working at the time when he discovered it with a lady who had a water phobia, but to the point that she couldn't even take a shower. That much she was afraid of water. And he had been working with her for years and years. And the most that he could do to have her sit by the pool with the back turned towards the pool. So that was his only, if you want, improvement that he managed to get through, normal, natural psychiatric therapy, right? And psychological. And then because he was interested in Chinese acupuncture points, because this is what they are, this is where he got them from, corresponding to different meridians. one day she was talking about her phobia, like usually during the conversation. And she said, as I talk about this, I have a knot in my stomach. And then he just had that impulse to say, because he was studying this the points, he said, well, why don't you tap here, because this is the point for the stomach. And so she did. So he said, continue talking, and just keep tapping there. And then after a while, she just stops and he says, doctor, it's gone. And he says, it's gone what? What's gone? And she starts running towards the pool. And then he runs, he gets up and he runs after her and says, oh my God, I'm afraid this woman is gonna, because she's in danger, she hates pool. But that phobia for years was cured with this tapping under the eye. And after that, he put new protocols for various problems, like for depression, for phobias, for different protocols that he was using for specific things. And then how is called? Gary Craig.
So Gary Craig,
put them together.
He kind of simplified it.
He simplified it and he generalized it for
into a self-help.
Yeah,
that's what he was planning. Yeah.
Do you know what? I've learned so much. I really want to learn EFT as well. There's so much I want to learn, and I don't even know if there's enough hours in my life, let alone in the day. Oh, God, I just need to just like find some time and like and commit to doing what I want to do, like to commit to learn these, because I think these are incredible tools. I mean, NLP to me is the magic wand. I loved what you were saying about on the Access Consciousness with the magic wand, because that to me is just, that's how I feel about NLP, because this the timeline and we all have that magic wand. That's the most beautiful thing, because we just don't know how to access it, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. And anything that you're watching today that you feel like you could relate to, and on our last Real Therapy Talks last week, anything that you've seen, NLP, hypnosis, Ayurveda, and all of the ones today, just look into it a bit more. And if you haven't got the time to study or the inclination to study it, then find a practitioner that you can relate to and talk to any one of us. Or, there's hundreds of incredible people out there that just want to help, and we're there. So reach out to us. We're there to help you in any way we can, and find that therapy that you'd like to work with, and maybe try more than one. So, on that note, it's been an hour. Yet again, you enlighten my flipping life every week. It's been amazing. I've learned so much again. I haven't spoken much this week. It's great. I've just been learning and just listening, and great. So anyone that's watching, remember, next Friday, we've got the Real Therapy podcast coming out. It's being launched. Follow us at realtherapypodcast.com/follow. I think I got that right. And we're going to just spread the word. I've got a bit of promo coming out next week, so if everyone can share that would be brilliant. And we'll just get it out there. And pretty much that's it. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And tapping. I'm going to be tapping all day. So I'm going to sign off live, and we're going to have all the details of everyone in the comments. So please do get in touch if you want to, and leave a message, and go on our chat as well. So I don't really know if I've done it right on the chat, but hey ho, I couldn't see any of the chat. So, but I have got it spread on different platforms. So I don't know. But have a great weekend.